As an introduction, Sabah Development Bank (SDB) was incorporated by the state government of Sabah as a public limited company under the Company Act 1965. The aim of this bank is to foster economic growth in Sabah and Malaysia and also provides a range of financial and non-financial service. In 2024, Sabah Development Bank paid loss amounting over 5 billion ringgit after decades. So, we will discuss the scandal details through this video. The first factors that influence auditor quality is auditor independence and objectivity. This refers to the auditor's ability to perform their duties without any bias or conflict of interest, both in fact and in appearance. Next is professional skepticism, which involves maintaining a questioning mind and being alert to signs of fraud or error. Without it, auditors may overlook unusual transactions or accept management's explanation without challenge, leading to serious consequences like audit failure or stakeholder mistrust. The last factor is the competence and expertise of auditors. Competence refers to their skills and knowledge, while expertise is gained through experience. Together, they allow auditors to identify risks, design effective procedures, and detect anomalies or fraud. Based on investigation, one of the main techniques used by SDB is evergreening. This involves issuing new loans to borrowers who had already defaulted. This allowed the bank to avoid classifying these loans as non-performing in its financial report. As a result, SDB falsely reported 580 million ringgit in profit over a 6-year period, even though it was actually suffering massive losses. Second is mispresentation of financial health. In May 2024, 75% of the 6.6 billion ringgit issued by the bank was non-performing. However, these figures were not transparently disclosed in audited statement. This mispresentation misled not only investors but also government bodies and the public. Next is failure in internal controls. SDB also failed significantly in internal controls. The bank approved loans without proper background checks or adequate credit risk assessments. There was also little to no enforcement against defaulters, and the board failed to implement any effective risk mitigation strategy. Lastly is regulatory and legal action. In April 2024, SDB new board and management filed a report with the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) regarding suspected abuse in loan issuance process. The bank aims to recover 1 billion ringgit in non-performing loans annually over the next 3 years and focus to supporting beneficial project for the state of Sabah.
Okay, now let's move to the expand part. The first one is lack of auditor independence. Auditors become too familiar with SD Bank management, accepted management claim without challenge, failed to uncover evergreening scammer hiding bad loans. Compromised independence led to legal and ethical risks. Next, missing professional skepticism. Auditors lack a questioning mindset in a red flag in an evergreening loan practice. 580 million ringgit in fall profit while 75% of loan were bad. Furthermore, lack of competence. Audit team missed sign of high-risk lending, could not detect fraud or internal control failures, show weak technical skill and poor judgment, reduce audit value and rise professional liability. The last one is ethical failure and public responsible. Auditor failed to act in the public interest. Fraud exposed by new management, not auditors. Ignore red flag and ethical duty, led to serious reputational and legal consequence.
Moreover, in the analysis, in one of the most shocking financial collapse in recent years, the root of the crisis began with audit failure and a lack of independence. For years, auditors turned a blind eye, ignoring fake loans, poor repayments, and outdated asset values. Bound by close ties to management, they broke key audit rules and remained silent. But beneath the surface, creative accounting practices painted a false picture of stability. The bank reported a profit of by mid-2024, the truth emerged. 580 million ringgit Malaysia, money that didn't exist. 75% of loans were bad. Investors were deceived and action came too late. Internal control and governance were virtually non-existent. Between 2013 and 2018, 8 billion ringgit Malaysia in loans were issued without proper checks, especially in remote regions like Sabah. There was no system to stop the damage. And at the bottom, risk management had failed entirely. Borrowers were assessed collateral was revalued, the bank borrowed just to survive. Only in 2023, a new board began recovery, slowly reducing non-performing loans. It was more than a financial failure. It was a collapse of trust, control, and accountability.
Now, I would like to share 5 key recommendations to improve audit quality and promote good governance. First, organizations must conduct regular internal audits through independent teams with full access to financial records. These audits should report directly to the audit committee to ensure transparency and accountability. Second, audit firm rotation should be made mandatory with a 5-year cap. This helps maintain auditor independence and brings fresh perspective to the audit process. Third, regulatory bodies must carry out compulsory quality reviews, especially for high-risk institutions and government-related entities, to uphold audit integrity. Fourth, we need to ensure the legal accountability of auditors. The Malaysian Institute of Accountants should impose strict disciplinary actions, including fines or legal proceedings against auditors found guilty of misconduct. And lastly, it is vital to promote ethical leadership. Companies should implement regular ethics training, mandatory ethical clearance for high-risk tasks, and form independent ethics committees to manage conflicts of interest.
For the last part is conclusion. The Sabah Development Bank scandal happened because the bank handled money badly and broke rules. It gave new loans to people who could not repay old ones, hiding RM5 billion in bad loans and pretending to make money. The bank did not check borrowers properly or update asset values. Auditor did not do their job. They trusted the bank too much and missed the problems. To fix this, the report suggests better rules, regular check, changing auditors often, training on honestly, and protecting whistleblowers to stop this from happening again.